All right. I didn't want to start. Welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all of the land, all of the seas. In Oceania, they're listening to it. In Belgium, they already have a whole channel for the Broski Doodles. And today, the fucking classic crew. Because I've been doing some movie reviews without the crew, and you might be thinking, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm missing these motherfuckers. But today, they're here, and they ain't going nowhere. Fear, what it do? Big John, what it do? Looking skinnier. And I'm going to say it here in camera. He's trying to lose weight, and I want to make it public so that he sticks to it. And I also need to do it because I've been trying to lose weight for many years. And it's getting to the point where now I'm not even allowed in the public pool. They said that it was that I just looked too scary to the kids.
You're taking up too much space.
Yeah.
the water kept overflowing.
Overflowing, yeah. So today we got some fire topics, and for those of you that got kids, this might be something that you'll relate to a little bit more. But all of us have gone through this, and we're gonna be talking about kids in sports and how these events go when you're chilling with their fathers and you have different personalities, different type of people in these events. You got some of the parents that are a little more strict, more intense, and you got some people like my parents who were simply not there. and we're gonna go through the whole spectrum. It's a whole spectrum. And I know, Fear, today you are a bringer of offsprings. You are a father. I hear that you went to a tennis tournament with your kid. You're trying to raise your kid, Serena, what do you do, King Richard. And there's different characters that you always bring up when you go to these places. And I needed to, I want to put them out there because I've seen these people too. So let's get started. What did you see out there today in the courts?
All right, so Graham had his tennis tournament today. And I don't take him too often because tennis is a sport where you're signing up your whole day. I was there at 7 a.m. and we left at 2 p.m. Oof. It's not your typical soccer match. You play an hour, kids do their thing, eat some pizza, call it a day. We're there at the tennis tournament, and you always have, I think, 3 staple type of parents. I'm gonna talk about the most aggressive one, the one that stands out every time, and it's guaranteed it's gonna be there, especially at these tennis tournaments. It's a dad that's there at 7:30 in the morning, already warming up with his daughter, right? Or son. In this case, it was a daughter. They're both stretching out, and he's there just like rubbing her shoulders, doing the warm-ups. Jenna, we talked about this all week. You know what you got to do? When they hit it to the right, you hit it to the left. Keep the open stance. Do what you do, Jenna. Do what you do. We've been working on this. This is your day, your moment. Right? And he gets into it. He's in his tracksuit. There's that type of dad.
That one is a classic.
I don't understand, dude. Like, you had your moment. It was 30 years ago. Like, your daughter has a coach. Anything you're telling her right now is not going to do absolutely anything. You're putting more pressure on her.
If you spoke to the dad would have a story like, man, you wouldn't even know. In my days, I was better than McEnroe.
It's the Uncle Rico prototype.
Yeah, it's the Uncle
archetype.
Rico. Back in my day, I could throw this football over that mountain. Dude, I remember when I used to play baseball and I was a little kid, my parents would just drop me off and they're like, all right, go have fun. And then when I would get to the place, there was this Cuban American dad, right, that wanted his kid to be. I like to mention the ethnicities of the people in my stories. And I just feel like that just gives you a little bit more of context. And I say that because some people might think like, oh, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. Yes, it did matter because this guy had an accent and he was very aggressive. Kind of like how you are when you come from that place. Not everybody is. But you know what I'm talking about. If you live in Miami, you know the little, if you get the Cuban fire on you. Okay, now that's gotten racist. Now I'm being racist. Okay, so there was this Cuban American, right? Actually, he was Cuban because I'm not sure if he had papers. So he might not have been American. But he was there, like you said early, with his fucking lounge chair that he would bring, with a fucking cooler, and then he would be with his son, like, you gotta go, no, what you did that, you gotta go. And you could tell this guy was living his dream through his son's actions. The son didn't even give a fuck, he didn't want to be there. But it was a dad. And in your case, this scenario that you're putting today, I'm pretty sure Jenna right? She's pretty excited about the tourney. She's like, okay, it's cool. But the dad is the one that's like, no, you're gonna be somebody. And even though I want to shit on that guy, and I do shit on that guy, because fuck that guy. I never had that guy. But isn't that the same guy that takes Serena and Venus Williams to the tennis Open, to the US Open? Or is that a different guy?
How about we finish the guys first, and then we'll be like, all right. So we got Jen, we got Jenna, we got the other one, we got this guy, whatever. Let's get to the end, and then we'll be like, all right. So who won the tournament? And then you'll be like, oh, Jenna won, or this guy won, or the whatever one. And
I'll start the podcast again, and we'll do it in that order. Welcome to the Broski Doodle. What the? No, so okay. All right. So what's the second guy? What's the second guy?
The second guy, well, the other extreme was Kiko's dad. That's like, all right, get the fuck out of the car. You're here. I'm gonna go play golf. I saw that guy too. In this,
you saw him leave.
Yeah, I saw him leave, and then I saw him come back later at the end of the tournament with his golf clubs. I'm like,
wow,
I feel you.
What are we gonna call that kid? Is that Mark?
Daddy wasn't there.
Yeah, we'll call him Austin.
Austin.
Oh my God.
So we have Austin and Jenna. And then I think the one in the middle would be, I don't know, give it a random ass name, but the dad in that scenario is the one that's always fighting with the umpires, fighting with the other dads, and getting all worked up, like if he's trying to prove something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the dad of Jimmy.
Of Jimmy.
Jimmy's dad is always on some shit.
Right. He wasn't there warming up with the kid. He wasn't talking strategy. He was just sitting down watching the match, and every time there was a little error or something that Jimmy's dad didn't like, Jimmy's dad let everybody know about it. And if you tell anything to Jimmy's dad is ready to fight.
Okay, so Jimmy's dad has the attitude, but doesn't put in the work. Jenna's dad has that attitude, but he put in the work.
Right. He has a constructive way of going about his attitude.
Okay. Would you say this middle guy is the more riffraff?
Based on his attitude, yeah. I think he has something to prove, and he's letting out his frustrations.
Chip on the shoulder, maybe?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. He's the guy that's like, shit, my dad was never here, so I need to overact. Maybe I'm not around for my kid, but now I need to show everybody else that I am here.
That I am around, right? Maybe I get the kid on the weekends, and I want him to go to his mom and be like, "You saw what Daddy did," and then he goes to the hookers or whatever. But those days, he wants to make sure that Jimmy, gets the package.
Yeah, I'm the sheriff around here.
Right.
No bullshit's gonna fly.
I haven't been in any of his birthdays, but I run shit around here.
But I'm here. I'm here now. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? He's very aggressive. Okay, he's also like some Latino of some kind, and that's not racist. That's just like facts.
So can I put Jimmy Hernandez?
Jimmy Hernandez. That's yeah. Jimmy Hernandez, Salvadorian, Honduran.
The Jimmy threw me off.
James.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, there's the fourth dad I didn't mention before, which I think I fall into, which is just sitting on the chair and drink my beers and enjoy just being there.
Okay. So you did that. You would put yourself like in the middle of the middle one and the bottom one. The one that doesn't show up at all. You're like,
right.
Look, I'm here. I'm looking after the kid. Make sure he doesn't break his head. Now, am I taking him to the U.S. Open? Maybe not. Maybe I'm taking him to Hooters after this, and teaching him a lesson about losing every once in a while.
Right.
We're gonna call him Bram.
Bram. Bro Graham.
Hey. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Bram's dad, which is you, right? Is Bram's dad the one that says, "Oh, don't worry, champ. You're here to have fun.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
It comes with the personality.
Okay.
Does Bram's dad take him to Pizza Hut after his if he wins or loses, whatever happens, takes him to Pizza Hut or?
Yeah, that's part of Bram's dad's nature as well.
So
my mind was set on pizza, and your outcome is not going to ruin my pizza day.
Right.
So he gets rewarded for losing. Okay, that's one of the right down.
Okay, quick question. After the tourney ends, right? And Bram, right? Bram loses. Bram. Does Bram's dad tell him something along the lines of, your failings as a child are my failings as a father?
No, I think that's more Jenna's dad.
That's more Jenna's dad, right?
That's more Jenna's dad. If she loses, she's fucked. She's sleeping outside.
Yeah. Yeah, Jenna's gonna get it. That's funny, man.
Now let me ask you a question. Now here's the final question that KIKO was asking. Who won the tournament? Jenna, Austin, Jimmy, or Bram?
I didn't see the kid's dad.
You didn't see the kid's dad.
Yeah.
Right, but we're asking about the kid who won.
Oh no, he didn't see the kid's dad that won, so he can't know which dad was it.
Which dad he was.
So it was another kid that wasn't even on the list. So even
this
these
is more of a statistical question. The winner, was it a black kid?
Pure research.
No, it's pure research. I mean, statistically, they're prone to be more athletic, and in the last years, because of King Richard and Venus, a lot more black kids have turned into tennis, and it would only make sense that given their
acceptance
and excellence in the sports field, that they would dominate that quick.
That is true. Yet the percentage still remains small, especially in Miami. So there was,
and also you live in a very live in a very Latino community.
Right. So there was one black kid at the tournament, and he did not win.
He did not win.
No.
Did he do again for research purposes? Did he do any good at all?
Yeah, he won a few matches.
Okay.
He's a prospect.
He's a prospect.
Scouts are looking for him, but just wasn't his best day.
Okay, and in the dad role that you're in, right? Like the category you fall in. What is the type of? And I'm not trying to put you in a spot. Not really asking you personally, but just this character, because I find him to be the most common one, right? It's like the dad that cares enough to look, I'm here, like making sure you don't die, right? Like the kids, like fucking what's the kid's dad that went to play golf? Jimmy? No.
I forgot. John wrote it down. You're muted, dude.
You're muted, bro.
Austin.
Okay, so like I'm not Austin's dad who went to play golf Hooters and then picked you up late when everybody already left. No, I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's there making sure you don't get hurt, making sure that I'm motivating you. Am I a tennis coach? Shit, nah. I'm not that. I don't know what's the open stance. I don't know the open stance. What is this dad telling his kid, Bram, after the tournament ends? He didn't win. What is the pep talk like in the way to Pizza Hut?
Well, the pep talk today was, Bram lost every single match. So the pep talk, it was a tough one. It was very short, and it's, hey man, I just need to know that you did your best. And he said I did, and I said all right. Then that's all that matters. We'll be back next week.
Okay. Genuinely not trying to be a dick. I'm being no, really. Was this like a moment where you think like it was a bonding moment?
I don't know. I just hope that he takes that well. Because I don't know what else to tell him. Like, hey, you got whooped pretty bad, but suck it up.
Well, I mean, I think the way that you put it, I think it's a great way, in my opinion. That's why I say like, oh, it sounded like beautiful. It's like, look, I only ask of you to always do your best and always try to improve. And if you do that, I'm always gonna be proud of you. And I think that's a beautiful message, you know. So
I think it's the right message. Although it is tough to see the kid lose. So the whole, you just need to be having fun out there. That doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't fly. And the kids know that's not true. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not having fun. You know, this is not fun.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into that bullshit. I'm here to win.
Yeah. Especially kids that are competitive into sports. They're not there to have fun. Or
their version of fun is winning.
Right. Like, their version of fun is knowing that the shit that I've been working on works. So,
I mean, look at what happens when you start playing Fortnite and you keep losing and losing. You get to the point where you don't even want to play anymore. You know?
Look, John, I understand you have your own personal experiences, but you shouldn't bring them into like conversation about kids and their sport endeavors. I understand you don't know how to build in Fortnite, and it's one of the main skills that you need. But yeah, take a couple lessons. No. It is true. Like for competitive people, and I don't know if everyone has some level of competitiveness. I'm very competitive. That doesn't mean I'm good, but I'm competitive. I take it seriously. Like I take it personal, right?
I'm more competitive than you.
Okay. If I was more competitive than you, I'll be like, no, I don't think you're more competitive than me. No, but look, I wanted to get another perspective on this, right? Because we're looking at the perspective of the daddy, right? Because a lot of people that listen to this podcast are older folks. Do we have the youngins also? Yeah, we do have a little youngins out there that already know that, look, I need to get actually good content from people that have had experiences, from motherfuckers that know what's goody, right? So they listen to us. But I would think that most of the people that listen to us are around our age group, 30, which is people that are already mature and they're like, you know what, let's listen to this thing. It's not the best quality. It's not the best diction. I mean, the guy has a fucking accent, for God's sake. But it entertained me. For some reason, it just tickles my fucking anus. And I watch it, right? But really, everybody knows that our big audience actually comes from the... in Spain, we call it the third age. The senior citizens. The Broski Doodles is broadcasted a lot in, you know, like
may or may not know what the fuck we're talking about.
Senior homes, you know, things like that. I do gotta say, John looks mad skinny, and I'm already seeing the type of trouble you're gonna be causing in the streets of Miami. So just putting that out there. No, but we're looking at the perspective of the father. But I want to look at the perspective of the player, of the kid, of the little competitive demon inside that youngin's mind. And for people out there, if you've been listening to the podcast long enough, you would know this. But if you didn't, it's okay. You'll learn it today. One of our members, Big John, DJ BJ in the dark rooms of DJing, he was a professional fucking player and an athlete. Played baseball. You know, he has a Dominican, Colombian blood. When you mix that shit, you either get a criminal or a baseball player. And in this case, he was an amazing baseball player. And I want to know how you think it would have influenced you to have these different dads at the moment where you could have made it to the next step, right? You're muted.
Fucking A, bro. All right. Thank you for having me on. I really like this podcast. It's good.
Did you just hop in the podcast or what?
Thank you, Belgium. Out of all the dads, I would have liked to have been a Jenna. So for sure, the Jenna is the most. Well, okay. So we're getting to the thing. As a player, what do I want to do? Do I want to succeed? Do I want to go pro? or do I just want to play this game, with my friends because my friends are doing the same thing? Like what is my motivation behind this game?
And what was your motivation?
It started off as me liking it, and then little by little I started seeing that I had skill and had potential, and then there was talks of the pro or at the very least like the college level. So it got intense, but then on my part I lost it. I lost the passion for it. It became monotonous. But it's at that point in time where you need Jenna's dad to keep pushing you, because you might back up. You might, as a child, be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm not competing at the same level as these other kids. They're doing a lot better than me. I feel bad. Things like that, because it's all gravy when you're the best hitter in a group of 5-year-olds or in a group of 7-year-olds, and you're the best pitcher, the best thrower, the best catcher, whatever. But then once you're getting to certain levels where there's more people coming in and there's more diversity and more talent,
competition,
right?
It's a bigger pond.
It's a bigger pond. The pond gets bigger, and it deters you from wanting to keep going. But that's where you need Jenna's dad the most, because Jenna's dad will have said, look, you did horribly today. You really did. However, I appreciate you gave it 100% all the time, but I need more. I need 110%. We need to go work out more. We need to go do the drills more. There's something we need to analyze our opponents. How did they beat you? What did they do? Did they cross over? Did they do this? Did they do that? Find out where your weakness is, exploit it, and then strengthen it so it no longer becomes your weakness, it becomes your strength.
Goddamn, I want Jenna's dad to fuck me.
For clarification, Bram's dad has part of those qualities and has that speech in his arsenal as well. Right?
So Bram's dad needs to talk to Jenna's dad for a little bit and see how that goes. Or, I mean, if it needs to be like, and also you need to talk to what? Actually, you don't need to talk to the kid to see if he wants it or not, because you have to decide, is it this or not?
I own this child. I am the one that makes the decision.
After
Jenna's dad is more like King Richard. That's like, she's gonna do the open stance and just nothing you can tell me about it. Okay, I'm taking her practice.
After he turns 18, that's his choice. But until then, you make the final call. So you dictate, and it's not that you're trying to live your dream through him, because you don't dream to be a tennis player. You don't dream to be a baseball player, or a football player, or whatever player you want to be. But you need to be the driving force for him or her to excel in whatever it is he does. Go above and beyond whatever it is that he does or she does. And that's what I think should happen.
I think Big John is being Jenna's dad to Fear, so that Fear can have more of Jenna's dad, which he already had inside of him, but that he's trying to. No. I think what John is saying is so true, because part of me, because I'm a competitive. I've said it before. I have the blueprints for success. I just don't have the discipline to go about it. So in this type of situation, you have
the blueprints, but not the materials.
Yeah, or the fucking want. So if I have a kid, right, in my mind, I'm afraid that I might. Afraid is a bad thing. I'm expecting to sort of be like more like Bram's dad. Like, hey, bro, I'm here and we're having a few brewskis, right? So like, appreciate, right? Mm-hmm. But when you just gave that pep talk right there, that like started tickling in that little skin between your anus and your balls.
El niés.
Well,
that all depends. Well, I'll let you finish now.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that maybe, even if it's like a thing where like, look, we're just growing. This is a nice activity to bond and to teach them things. If we push them hard to King Richard's, Jenna's level, in your own way, of course, in your own method, in your own style, right? Even if that doesn't take him to the US Open, it's going to teach him so much shit about life, competitiveness, and how to accept things, right? But most of all, learn how to give it your all, which I'm pretty sure he's trying hard now. But I don't know, for some reason, John's little thing hit me there, and fuck, I kind of want to pick up a racket tomorrow and see if I can,
It's too late for you, Kiko. But it's not too late. It's not too late for Bram.
I guess it all depends on what the child's end goal is going to be. Because it's like you said, if the kid just wants to go out there and have fun with friends and likes the activity, then it's cool to be chill. But if the kid does have expectations to make it to the US Open or whatever, then yeah, you need a fire constantly under their ass. Because you know what it takes to get there. And it's not easy because you have tons of kids all over the country that are competing for that same spot.
This is the thing though, right? And now I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. Like what you're just saying, Fear. If the kid, maybe that's not his, his vision, right? And you push him this way, like King Richard or like Tiger Woods' dad did to Tiger, which is the same dad we're talking about. Tiger Woods and Serena and Venus, they made it, right? So when you make it, it's all dandy. But what about all the other ones that were so close but didn't? You would have a Tiger Woods that would have a lot of social awkwardness because his dad pretty much didn't let him have a social life, live as a kid. Everything was golf. If that had not worked out, he would almost be like a retarded, decent golf player that can't really like move around in life.
Retarded golf coach.
Yeah.
But okay,
I think that's a Disney movie.
Starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
Sir, I think you gotta use. I think you gotta use the 7. It's the
7. Holy fuck, radio! You did it again.
What do you mean, radio? Of course, I need at least a 9 for this one. Sir, just do the 7th. I got it.
Oh man!
Then the wind picks up randomly.
Yeah,
I told you the 7.
The 7, man. At 5:45 every day, there's this wind that comes from the west. Goddamn radio! Sometimes I wish I was retarded like you. Something like that. Something along those
lines. So there is a disclaimer that I have to say with Jenna's dad and with Bram's dad. Jenna's dad runs the risk of pushing so hard that he pushes her away, in the sense of like either pushing her away from doing it at all, pushing her away in the sense of like once she gets big or she becomes well made, she like never sees him again because of how intense and how much he pushed her throughout her entire life to get to that level. Not all kids see that as positive, so you do run that risk, but you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it so that if this kid is, you have to analyze your kid. Does he have the talent? Does he have the talent to do this well? If that's the case, then you can build on talent and become an even better player. If the kid doesn't have talent and you know it, I guess, or even if you don't, maybe have somebody to analyze your kid and be like, look, does he have the talent to do this?
This thing work or not?
then you do
it's even
the
worth
route. You go the Bram's dad route. You just chill out and have your brewskis and have him enjoy his life and have fun with his friends and stuff.
Yeah, try being a loser.
No. I want to clarify. There's nothing wrong with that scenario.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I think the person that doesn't get enough attention is Austin's dad. Some kids respond well to that one too. Austin's dad, for clarification, was the one that left and said, "You know what? You go play tennis, figure it out."
Like I'm more like an Austin kid, and I will say that to me, it didn't help me. I didn't become like this obsessed kid that was gonna practice. But I just think athletic wise, I've always liked sports, but I was never that kid that excelled in sports. I was not. And that is one of those things that I still sometimes think at night and bothers me, you know? Like I made it to the senior soccer team in my school and I was a starter, but then the pressure came and I couldn't deliver, so then I wasn't a starter anymore.
Wakes up in the middle of the night.
I'm like, I could have thrown that football over that mountain, I'll tell you. No, but it is those type of things that sometimes you're like, God damn it, what couldn't I have been less of a little bitch?
What's the other dad that we haven't spoken about?
Jimmy's dad.
Jimmy's dad, the fighter?
The fighter /
the annoying fuck.
That one beats you when you get home.
For no reason, right? It's not like he helped you train in the week. He just beats you up like, you fucking idiot. God damn it.
Do you think that one also molds fighters?
Oh, that one molds fighters and they become
rapists.
They become resilient. They become resilient.
Hey, just out of curiosity, how did Jenna do?
I don't know. No. I don't know. I was watching Graham, and Graham's only playing against boys.
Oh, no, you're watching Bram.
Bram. Graham. Yeah, I didn't
now,
see
for research purposes, is the roster very diverse?
They're all Hispanics.
Okay.
Yeah,
you see, this is the problem.
Well, there was one kid that beat Graham. That's like Eastern European.
Yeah.
Okay.
His name was like Artemis or some shit like that.
Artemis, what the
wow. Write that one. Let me write that one down. Artemis.
I want to talk to Artemis' dad.
Fucking. He was there with his mom. She's
like Siren. Is Artemis
Yugoslavic accent.
Those motherfuckers. That's the Djokovic. He's from those countries.
Yeah.
Where they've always been in war and life has no meaning, so they need to make meaning out of life. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, the kid was 9 years old and he beat Bram.
You know, there is a silver lining to being born in a place that's being bombed constantly. You get resilient and you do well in tournaments against Hispanic kids that don't go through much shit, really. It's a problem.
Yeah. That already expect coleslaw whether they win or lose.
Yeah. So that alone is like, if they know they're gonna get the quesadilla, like the other kid from Eastern Europe, if he don't win or at least bleed, right, show that he's bleeding, he's sleeping outside.
Oof.
He might be drafted.
I mean, that's
they
what
might
it
send
takes.
them back. They might send them back. Send me another kid.
Send me brother, this one broken.
This will not work. Not work right.
It's fucking disgusting. Take him out of here. Reject his visa. Fucking loser.
like he's running to Papa, I did my best, and then like he just turns around and like the Yugoslavic like forces are just taking him to the like Papa, no!
I tried my best. Like Bram's dad said, try your best.
And the dad is so in line with the Yugoslavic like
methodology.
Yeah, that he's not like crying or like, oh my son. He's like, yeah, that's what you get, fucking Artemis, for being a fucking loser.
Artemis.
I told you consequences before we got here. Now you must
told you if you do not beat all of these wetbacks, there would be repercussions. I don't want an inferior race to beat my son Artemis, the son of the god of water.
If you do not become champion, you go back to Gulag.
With your mother, who my kid, we sent her there many years back because she didn't cook the potato correctly. Remember, Artemis, you cried, but you understood that it was the Soviet power that needed the potatoes. All right.
Now it's your turn, Artemis.
Before this shit gets too wild, because sometimes it does. Sometimes, I mean, I gotta say, sometimes it gets a little wild. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. If any of you listeners have kids and your parents, and you're in this sort of dynamic where you need to take your kids to extracurricular activities, and you're feeling, in your head, like, should I be the guy that's always like pushing for my kid? Should I be the guy that's just drinking a few brewskis and making sure everything goes peacefully and he has fun? Or maybe I have my own way of doing it. Hey, KIKO, Fear, Big John, let me show you. I have another archetype. I'm this dad. I'm fucking Michael's dad, and that's another type of dad. We want to know. Also, subscribe. You can listen to this shit on Spotify, on iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can review it. If you review that shit, it helps me so much. You don't have to pay for anything, because us, we have a corporation that pays for all these things. So we don't need money, but we need your support and your views and your listening. And what?
And we didn't even go into the moms. Some of the moms are crazy too.
Yeah, well, some of the moms, you feel for other things, Adrian looking at the mom. But that's for another episode of the moms, If you last episode of the Broski Doodles you listened, we talked about the leeches. That's very linked to the moms. Some moms are leeches, but not all leeches are moms. But anyways, Broski Doodles, I love you. Take care of yourself. Have a great week. And always know that we got your love, and every week you'll never miss the episodes. We got Jack.